Well, tonight's game, it's good to get a Delaware State here, and feel really bad for that team and what they had to kind of endure. They had some plans here to see the island and how beautiful it is, Pearl Harbor and the history and the luau, and so just really safe travels back to that team and really the best of luck on the season. This game's it was a good game. I mean, anytime you can get a win, you're going to take it. A lot to learn from in all three phases, I believe. Some special teams really showed up, and that's a good sign of a team understanding their fundamentals, blocking, tackling, those type of things. I thought Tylan did a great job of returning the ball off of a left-footed kicker, and I thought the guys played. They're running down with their hair on fire and making plays. And so I thought the special teams was a real highlight for us. I thought our defense played really well. Besides two possessions, the one at the end of the half and the one starting the second half, I thought they did a really good job covering, making it tight on those guys. Stopping the run, trying to keep that athletic quarterback in the pocket, tackling pretty well for the most part. You're going to nitpick. We're going to get on a win. You're going to get to nitpick some of the things that have happened. But for the most part, I thought they did really, really well as a defense and getting after the quarterback. Offensively, the second possession, I think we score, and then after that there's some stalling on our part, and so. You're just going to go back and look at it and see where we could have got better. I thought in the second half they did a much better job of responding and scoring 3 out of the 4 possessions that they had. Any questions, Steven?
How the conditions impact your strategy, particularly on the diamond head side with the wind swirling there?
Oh man, I don't know where that storm is, but it's got to be pretty close. I'm expecting, and so. I hope all the islands and all the people are okay, and but definitely it presents its challenges. If the wind's blowing like how it is, I don't know exactly how fast it was blowing, but it's gonna challenge you. The ball's gonna move and those type of things, and so. But here's the thing: both teams got to deal with the issues, and so.
Is that why you call for more rain play
He I think he's athletic enough to run the ball, and he has a want to run the ball, and I think he's dynamic when he does. He adds another element to our offense as well as himself, and so he's a big boy, and he's athletic enough, and he can see it, and so he starts to fill the game out. He tells us, he likes to take a hit, and it actually really puts him in the game.
Hey, Timmy, congratulations.
Thank you.
During the game, did you feel like it would just be a matter of time before consistency started to click in? Or was it rather than were you starting to think like maybe it might be if, and were any flashbacks to your playing days when there were a couple kind of, losses to teams that you guys were favored against in season openers?
Sure. Yeah, it's and what we do in this offense, it really starts with us, and you're going to get it going, and if things are breaking down, it's usually internal, and we look at ourselves because it's just a style of offense of which we're doing, and so, for sure, if it's 14-0 and it's just you let teams hang around, they're going to make plays, and so, they had a great 2-minute drive. We have 3 timeouts left, and we're getting ready to call timeouts to see if you can get your team going. But they did a great job of scoring and then getting the ball right there in the second half again. And in 2 possessions, the game's tied. And so, what I really did like about the team was, how the offense did respond. The next drive they went down, scored. I believe we ended up punting the ball, pinning them, but then, the next drives after that, we ended up scoring. And so, it was a good response. And really, if you watch the rest of the other 3 games today, it's teams were up, and all of a sudden, it's a kick at the end of the game. It's a close loss. The two Mount West opponents are close losses, and so you never know. Football is just it's just that type of game. You have to believe in each other. You have to go out there and execute, and that's what the game demands.
Hey, Coach Chang, congrats on getting that opening one. First part question, how does it feel just to, open a season this way, 1-0 next to your name, compared to, say, the last 2 years?
Sure. It's a good feeling for sure. Yeah, anytime you win, it's gonna feel good. You can coach a little bit harder too. Knowing that you had to win. It's a good coaching philosophy. You don't want to. Sometimes you could take a back seat and just kind of relax, but now you can really coach the details about this is why we emphasize things that we do, and we're trying to perfect them. And so, but it does feel really good to win and go 1-0.
The dynamic of you and some of your new assistants on the sideline, and Coach Brown as your associate head coach.
Yeah.
You're an old mentor, and Dan Morrison's there with you. Your new DC. So just what was that sideline dynamic like for you throughout the game tonight?
I thought it was really good. I thought it was a good group of. If you talk about Dennis, you talk about Dan, Jeff Reinbold. They added a good mix of maturity and veteran leadership that you just kind of lean on. There's no panic with those guys, right? There's just a steadiness, and they've been there. They've coached for 30 years plus, and so there's a calmness about them, which gives us guys a calmness about how we go about our business too, and then it just trickles down to the players. And so I thought it was a really good dynamic. The comms, the head communications, those type of things. We just continue to learn and progress, and even the tablets. Those are all helpful.
Coach, congrats on the win. On the defensive side, you mentioned a little bit earlier in the opening statement about the drive at the end of the first half, and then that first one at the second half. But talk about a guy like Jemai Otis and kind of the night he had, and how just that defensive unit was able to perform pretty much the entire game.
Yeah, Jemai is he's talented. I mean, he came to us ready to play football. I think it's just for him it was kind of understanding the speed, getting an off season underneath his belt. But Jemai's talented, man, and it was game ball worthy for us. And I expect him to go out there and make more plays and still become a leader. But when you guys are here, you see him making plays in training camp, and so that's just taking practice to the field, and he does a good job.
Coach, what do you think of the punting game both ways for you? Lucas Borrow had some effective punts, and Tylan Hines had some effective returns.
Yeah, I thought special teams played really well. I thought Lucas. I don't know. I don't know the stats for sure, but I mean there was a lot of good pinning down the opponent down inside the 10, and and that's a huge factor. And he plays holder as well, so he's double dutying. But those are all, especially in the first half, when we need to back guys up and put guys and make it challenging for them to come out. His field position really, really helped us. And then Tylon and not only Tylon, but the rest of the guys on special teams. You're talking about guys that have been in our program 2 years now, going on their third year that we've been together. So the expectation and the understanding of special teams play is very high. I mean, it's at a high level, and Tylon's a weapon, and so we'll continue to use them, and special teams is going to help us win games.
Kind of circling back to what your opening talk was, and kind of reflecting on the way the game went, with it being a season opener, and considering you have a high-profile team coming in next week that's probably going to be favored against you. Is this the way this game went, and all the coachable, teachable moments? Is that better than winning like 45-3 or whatever by what the spread was?
No, I mean it can go both. It'll go both ways. You know, the score is what the score is what it is because it's there's going to be good things that happen and bad things that happen. You play good opponents like the one next week. You gotta make sure that you're on your stuff.
I mean, does it help you though, as far as the coaching staff, to say, hey, see, this is what you're going to have to fix this and this and this and the other for the players,
Yeah, it depends. I think for us, the type of game that it was, it is what it is, and we're gonna learn from it. I mean, these are all, with these guys in the 18 to 22 years, all this experience helps. It really does. And so, when you start, if you can beat a team by a lot of points, and then that's all praise to you. But I think it helps.
Coach, this was kind of a common theme in college football today, but was the helmet communication smooth, or were there any issues there, or how did it go?
No, I think everybody had problems in the 3 games that I including ours. In those 3 games, Mountain West games, I think I saw everybody have a little problem with it, and you can see the quarterbacks, talking. So the kinks got to get ironed out and got to get figured out, and so I don't know whether it's something's wiring is not right in the helmet, or the satellite's not picking up, or it happens, and so for the rest of the country that's playing next week, everybody's got to be ready to adjust.
Hey, Brayden, congrats on getting that one tonight. Just curious, man, what was it like playing in the conditions out there with alternating wind, rain, and what have you?
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. That was the strongest wind I've probably ever played in. But it's no excuse. We got to be able to complete balls at a higher rate. I think I only had 50%. So we got to get that a lot higher, and we will. But there's some good that came from this game tonight. So we just got to take that and move on with it.
And what did you think of the team response after they scored right before halftime and right after halftime?
Yeah, no, it was good. I think good teams will find a way to win even when it's scrappy. So it was good to bounce back from that, move on, and be able to go down and score. I have full confidence that we're going to be able to score every time we touch the ball. And we had some hiccups in the first half, and we started to get a little better in the second half. But we're going to clean some stuff up, and it's really just us beating ourselves.
As you were going through the game tonight, just how did you feel, after a couple, series? You seemed to got, a little bit more comfortable in the pocket, and you were scrambling and throwing. Just how comfortable were you from, let's just say, the first half to the second half?
I think I'm comfortable no matter what. I've always been comfortable playing football. I think it's just more of an execution thing, and I think it's something that we just got to continue to execute. I feel very comfortable back there. I'm very confident in my O-line and my receivers, and at the end of the day, we had one thing that I would make a bad throw, or they'd drop a ball, or we'd miss a protection. I mean, it's one of us that messes up, and you got to do your 111th, and that's what Coach Chang has been preaching. So, we got to do our 111th, and we got to move on. And once we get 11 guys doing the right thing, it'll be a better product.
Hey, Brayden, congrats on the win. After having a slow first half, was there anything at halftime that you personally changed to have a much better second half?
Yeah, we got in at halftime, and we had a conversation as an offense, and basically just saying it was embarrassing to score 7 points in the first half against the FCS school playing in the run and shoot. That's not the standard of what we do. So it's sometimes you need a little butt chewing in order to get everybody right. And I think that we came out with a better mentality in the second half, and it resulted in some more points.
Brayden, I know it's your 4th year here, your first season opening win. How big do you think that is just for the team to get that W at the end of the day?
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's a win's a win. So it's good to be 1-0, and we know we got a better opponent next week, and we just got to prepare, and we got to be perfect next week in order to come out with a win. But it's good to be 1-0, and it's good to find a way to win.
Hey, Brayden, congrats on the win. It seemed like you and DeKel couldn't connect on a couple of balls early on in the game, but then later on you connect on the one. Where do you feel like your chemistry is with him and the wide receiver room as a whole as you guys are heading now into the regular season?
Yeah, it was good to be able to connect on that one, but I feel comfortable with all those guys. Really, I feel very comfortable that we're going to be able to hit a lot of those deep balls as the season goes on, and that's just something we got to get on the same page on. We were hitting those all fall camp, and we just got to get back on the same page, and people are gonna start to see more of those connections.
Brayden, just kind of talking about your running game tonight, kind of giving the offense a little bit of juice and, your 2 rushing scores, kind of, giving a little bit at the end there. Talk about that and just what that shows to the rest of your team, maybe giving it a little bit of juice in the middle of a drive.
Yeah, sometimes when we're not doing well, I need to give the team a boost, and I think every time I run the ball or I lower my shoulder on somebody, it just lets them know that, I'm willing to take a beating too. I'm willing to lower my shoulder for this team. I'm willing to do anything to win the game, and it fires up the O-line, it fires up everybody, and I love doing it too. I love contact, I love taking hits, and I love lowering my shoulder on people. So it's something that I'm going to continue to do. That's just how I play.
Okay, when you were talking about some talk at halftime about being embarrassed and stuff about run and shoot needs to score more than 7 points and a half against a team from a lower caliber and all that, and some butt chewing. Like, who was doing the talking?
It was me. I knew that we had to do better, and it was just something where, at times you gotta go up there and you gotta tell them, you gotta take accountability. I took accountability for what I did, and I let everybody know we gotta get on the same page, and that's just something that you gotta do as a quarterback, and I think that there was a little bit of a mentality switch in there, but it's just something we can't start that slow again, especially next week. So that'll be something we preach all week, and just having a better mentality.
That's not who you are. That's not what you are normally by nature, though. So is that something you've grown into?
You talking?
Being able to talk, lead in that kind of style.
Yeah, I think I've always been a leader in my own right, but I do a lot of behind the scenes. I lead by example, and when I need to talk, I talk, and I think that's something that fires people up. Just like me running the ball. When I need to talk and I need to fire the team up, I think I can do a good job of that.
Brayden, what was it like going through the first game of helmet communication, and did the weather kind of make that harder, or what was that whole game like?
Yeah, there was a couple times that I couldn't hear because of the wind or the rain or something, so we'd have to go to our other operation, which I think we handled well operationally all night, but it was a little challenging from time to time, but we had practiced for that, and we had known what we were going to do when the comms went out, so I was happy with that.
Brayden, congratulations on the win. You had a great contribution from your special teams, helping the offense out, giving you guys great field position. Do you think this is going to be something that is going to continue all season long and really help you guys having to drive shorter fields, and it's going to only get better?
Oh yeah, I sure hope so. That was awesome tonight. Tylon did a really good job of putting us in a great position. When we're starting from the middle of the field, there's a lot higher chance to score. There's a lot of statistics on that. When you start with better field position, the scoring average is a lot better. So being able to have that good field position, I think, really helped us tonight and gave us a boost as a team.
Coming into this year, it's the full run and shoot offense. Just how comfortable are you in just the run and shoot offense?
Very. I've watched a ton of film with Coach Dan, with Coach Timmy. I understand this offense better than I've ever understood an offense. I know where I'm going with the ball every single time. Honestly, I thought my decision-making was good for the most part tonight. I just got to be able to put the ball on them more. We got to be able to catch the ball. We got to be able to protect. It was really close on a lot of them tonight. They got fortunate on some tips as well. But, as far as comfortability, I feel very confident and comfortable in this offense.
Congrats on the win, Tylan. First question is just, what were you seeing on that return?
First, I want to give all the glory to God. My teammates, they executed the game plan that Coach gave us, and, everyone did their 111, and I just made a play, the hole opened up, I just bounced to the left and took it to the house.
Just to follow up, going into the season, making the switch from, running back to wide receiver, and then also returning, how much of that switch from running back to receiver and also returning kicks, what was that mindset for yourself going into this season?
I had a growth mindset, Coach, when he told me I was making that switch, I had to, just be in the film room more and just work on my weaknesses to make me an overall player.
Are you to be playing this year? Obviously, you didn't get a chance to play last year, but just knowing that this is kind of like your redemption year, I guess you could say, just how comfortable you are and just how excited you are to just show your skills.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm blessed to be back on the field, with my brotherhood, and yeah, we all executed very well. We was very confident. We came in here with a game plan, and we executed most of it. We could have done a better job, but we're gonna go back to the drawing board and get it right.
Tylan, there were a lot of punts tonight, both ways, and wind was blowing, it was raining. So, did the elements affect many of those punts in terms of the trajectory or you having to adjust or anything along those lines?
Yeah, it was kind of challenging, especially with the rain and the wind. But for the most part, the coaches did a great job as well communicating with me. We stand on the same page and just reading the kicks. That's all it took.
Tylon, I'm noticing your shirt. Is that like a common slogan within the team or special teams, or how did that come about?
Yes, sir. This is actually our workout shirt. Coach always reminds us to make plays. So yeah, I wear it a lot.
And how more are you hoping to be a factor from scrimmage in addition to the punt return game?
Yeah, I always come into the game with a mindset of doing my job. Adding value to the team, and God take care of the rest.
Coach specifically mentioned the kicker punter, I guess, being left-footed, and that combined with the weather conditions. Can you talk about how that made it perhaps a little more challenging?
Oh, well, Coach, we was on the jug machine. We set it to a left-footed punter, so I was working it this week. And with the rain, it was tough, but, it was a learning experience, and I did my job for the best I could.